Alright guys, we're going to do a exercise in basically multiple planes on the XYZ axes, and this is going to be a alien molecule. So it's going to be a molecule that doesn't exist, but it looks like a molecule. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull up the video. Alright, so let's name this molecule alien, or just molecule if you want. Either way. Alright. So let's make sure we create this in a separate project as well. Alright. Start off with the sketch on the front plane there. Let me adjust my screen. Alright. We're going to create multiple planes, and we're going to do the best we can to name those planes. As it gets kind of crazy toward the middle of this video, it's going to be almost impossible to name all the different parts and planes, and it's going to be a mess, but it's going to look cool, and it's going to be a molecule of an alien. All right, so plane A is at 20. Let's see, plane B is at 15, then I go 10, then 5. So I got 5 planes going out in that direction. I'll have 5 planes going out in two different directions. So I'll have basically 15 planes. I'm not sure if I'm going to need them all, but it's better to have more than less. All right, so try to name your planes. It just helps. But as you'll find out, it gets kind of crazy as we get further into this project. And this will kind of open up the ideas for how to create a solar system that actually revolves and doesn't look like a frisbee. Like I think it was week 1 we tried to create the solar system. Alright, so we got A, B, C, D, and then E, F, G, H, then I, J, K, L. So just keep on creating the planes, and I gotta sneeze. Yeah, bless me. All right. All right, so that's E, F, G, and grab onto the arrow. You can take that out. Let's see, 20, 15, 10. Then H is going to be 5. All right, so this is basically an intense tutorial on how to create a multi-dimensional object that has separation between the planes, and there's all kinds of ways you can take this, different directions. Like I said, either a molecule or solar system or even the universe. All right, so if you put that in there, it's going to go in the wrong direction, so you kind of have to coax it. You can't put in a negative on the offset, so you're going to have to put in positive numbers, so you have to kind of pull the arrow to kind of coax it in the right direction, and then put the value in. Then it'll say, okay, I see what you want, and it'll take it that way. All right, so yeah, try to name these planes. If you forgot, you got to go back and right click on that and name it. It just kind of helps out, because you'll see in the end it gets kind of crazy. Let's see what happened to the arrow. Lost it. Interesting. So I'm trying to create that plane, and it disappeared on me. Not sure why. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So I still don't see the arrow. There it is. Okay, you got to pull back. All right. So yeah, it kind of needs a little hint on which direction you're going, and once you drag it in the other direction, it'll say, "Okay, I figured it out." All right. So we're not going to do 4 directions. I probably should have built some planes based off the top and went in a different direction, but I just kind of stayed on the X and the X and Z axis. I didn't actually go on the Y. But it all depends on if you're looking at the top or front or right plane. It really depends on your point of view of what you consider X, Y, and Z. All right, so I think that's enough planes, and we are going to keep the 3 center planes in place for now, and we're going to use those as a reference point to create our circular patterns where we're going to revolve around those. So I selected the A plane, even though the other planes are still visible. That doesn't mean that you're writing on them. Whatever's in that dialog box to the left is where you're sketching. So if it says plane A, that's where your sketch is going to show up. So we're going to just trace in a bunch of spheres, and this is from last week from the pumpkin exercise. Same concept, just a center line that's a construction line, and then make sure that your spheres are not construction. So you deselect the construction before you click on your 3-point arc and create your spheres. What happened to the okay. All right, there we go. All right, so I have 1 sphere, and you can call this instead of revolve 1 atom A. Click it. Okay, so we do have to create about 4 or 5 more molecules, and then we're going to use the circular pattern to make them revolve around the center. And we have plane G selected, so we're going to make our construction line. Press escape to let go of the line, and then we're going to go and get our 3-point arc. Make sure the 3-point arc is not a dashed line, so make sure you don't create an invisible sphere, and that's what would happen if you selected the construction and 3-point arc. All right, so make sure it grays out, and once it grays out, then you've got that locked in. We're going to revolve, select your sketch, select the axis. There's your second sphere, and let's see. All right, so we can name this. You can name the parts. As you can see, it's going to be crazy with all these planes. We're going to end up with 50, 60 different spheres. So I kind of gave up on trying to name all these after about the 10th or 12th sphere, and it just got too much. But if you stay organized at the very beginning, then it will at least get you, to the midpoint, and you don't have to go down the left-hand side and hover and figure out which one you want to need or select. You can just look at the name. So let's at least get to where we're we're mirroring these things. We're going to mirror them, and then we're going to revolve them. But in order to revolve, you do have to have a sketch that you're going to revolve around. You cannot revolve around a plane. You can only do that if you're going to mirror. So you can use the mirror tool to make some copies on the other side of the point of origin, but to revolve them, you do have to have a sketch on each of the top, right, and front planes in the center there. All right, so I'm going to go make a few off-center and different size molecule atoms, or atoms of the molecule. The molecule is the overall collection, and the atom is the subatomic particle of the molecule. Right, it's been a while since I've done biology, but all right, so we're going to make a slightly larger atom that makes up the molecule. I think I have that right. Make sure you constrain it by closing the top and bottom. And there we go. It'll gray out. And you got that correct. And then we're going to revolve. Pick our axis. There we go. All right, so you notice it's a little bit too much, and what we can do is go into the planes which are above and adjust the planes backwards and forwards until each little atom of the molecule has its own orbital plane. All right, so here I am brainstorming what I want to do, and do I want to move which one do I want to move? And you can't, I mean, you can reduce the size of that thing. And my first attempt, I'm going to show you my mistake, is this is not going to work. It's just going to create a mess. And I'm going to show you what I really wanted to do was decrease the diameter, and that just made it worse. So go back in your sketch, and so we're going to put that back where it was. We're going to grab the top of the arc. Let's see. I want to go to the plane. I think I'm going to come back to the arc in a little bit. Let's see. So I can bring the plane A out a little bit. That's going to alleviate the problem, but I'm still going to be stuck with the fact that I have plane C that's being kind of swallowed up by plane B. And so I am eventually going to go back into the atom there for B and adjust the diameter the correct way. And as you can see, the parts list on the left, I'm starting to get kind of sloppy, and I'm not naming that stuff. I need to make sure that I name it at least, for the first half of the project. Try to keep above or on top of all that stuff. It'll just make it easier for you to organize your thoughts and how you want this thing to look. So let's see, why is it all right, so I've got I do need to go into sphere B and adjust that diameter. So you're not going to probably need let's see, on the right hand side we got EFGH. Then on the left side we got ABCD, and then over on the other side we got HIJKL. JKL is not going to be. We won't have to trace anything on there because we're going to use the mirror method to get them over onto the other side. So let you guys catch up. Let's see if this thing is actually going to kick back into high gear here. Let's see, what else can I mention here? We got hold on a second. All right, so in the dialog box, we got our planes, and they're separated, and they're look a little bit better. C and D are kind of close together. So we're going to, not sure why I picked extrude. Brain's not working. Sketch. So we're going to sketch an atom, and we can make the other ones disappear. So we're going to sketch an atom, and I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to do a little off center. So off to the right. This one's just going to be a little tiny small atom, or atom. Molecule is the larger picture. All right, so make sure your construction is deselected so you don't create a invisible sphere. Top and bottom have to be constrained. Straight line. Connect those guys up. And bottom as well. What am I waiting for? I'm not sure. Okay. All right, so make sure it grays out, and we're going to revolve. Click in the red, get your axis selected. There you go. All right, so there's a little off center. And I'm forgetting on the left-hand side to, you can see I'm starting to get some naming problems. So that was C. And that one was B. All right, so now you can bring them back up and see how they all look. Right click, rotate around to see. Yeah, there he goes. All right, so it looks good. Plane C is a little bit close to plane B, but that might work out. Or, you can go up to the sketch for atom B. And I think this is where I go up there and let's see, is that's sketch D. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna do a another off-center sphere. Way down to the left, and this is going to be off the normal plane of the other A, B, C, and G that I've already created. Once again, make sure your sphere is not a construction sphere. It's got to be a solid line. Make the top and bottom. It's for the thickness of your spheres. Make sure it is constrained, it grays out, and okay, we're going to revolve. go. All right, so edit appearance, choose whatever color you want. All right, unhide all of your other parts there. What am I doing here? Oh, that's part D. Okay. So bring all the others back up. All right, so here's where the fun is getting ready to start. We can definitely create smaller and larger atoms of your molecule. So it does not look like a molecule yet. It just looks like a bunch of planes going in different directions and a few atoms. So atoms in a molecule revolve around the nucleus. I do remember that much. And we are going to create 3 sketches on the front, top, and right planes. And first we're going to mirror a few of these things. And you see I mirrored that outer one to the other side. That is sphere A. And then I'm going to mirror a couple more of them. So with the mirror tool, you can select the plane. With the revolve tool, or the circular pattern tool that we're going to use here in a minute, has to have a sketch that you revolve around. So that's the only thing that can get people confused is, well, I want to do a circular pattern around a plane. You can't unless you have something sketched on that plane. All right, so let's see. So I got the, what is that, sphere B, and so I just call the mirror, instead of call it mirror, I just call it clone. All right, so then pick your plane, and there you go. So we're starting to look like a molecule, and it's getting ready to get kind of crazy here. You're about to see that it's going to, what is that? Atom A, B, C, D, and we're going to mirror that over there. There we go. So the reason I'm creating some mirrors is because what I want to do is go in and use the circular pattern tool, to make these similar atoms of the molecule go in different directions. And you can change the tone or the contrast of each one just by sliding that bar backwards and forwards. And that'll give like a little shadow effect if you want to look at the atoms that are going in different directions. All right, so almost there. Almost ready to do a circular pattern and make this thing look like an actual molecule. Let's mirror that thing. Okay, pick our what is that? That's atom G. So G clone. Pick the plane. There's our mirror. All right, so I think we're almost ready. So you need the front, top, and right planes in the middle. We have to create sketches on. So we're going to sketch. We're going to do the top first. Sketch a center point circle. It doesn't matter on the dimensions. We're just using it as a reference point for our circular pattern axis. And let's see, zoom out. Alright, so we're going to do a circular pattern, and it's going to be atom A. So you can pick a feature or part. I think it works for either one. Pick your axis is going to be that sketch. So now you got 4 created. Now you can go and just go crazy, and we're going to do 15 to 20 atoms per plane, and so we're going to make these go in different ways. So this is going to be A pattern, then B pattern, C pattern, D, and then G. I don't know if I got E, F, H, I, J, K, L. Alright, so getting there, and so you make those, turn those off by just clicking on the eyeball, and those will be temporarily hidden, and we can create some sketches for the other, for the top plane and the right plane. Alright, so we're going to go sketch, we're going to go right plane, zoom around to where you can see the right plane. Alright, so in the dialog box we do have right plane selected. We're just going to do a center point circle. Click OK. Now we're going to go and sketch. You may want to rename that. Right plane. This is where I start to get my names all mixed up. So now we have to do I think a plane on the front is the one we're missing. So the front plane. So even though some other planes are in between us and the front plane, as long as we have the front plane selected, we can draw right through those things. Because that center point circle, you would think it's going on the outermost plane, but it's actually going on the right plane. And so be consistent in your names. I'm at right plane sketch and then front sketch plane. So that might confuse somebody if I share this with them. They're like, okay, what are you talking about? All right, so now we've got our 3 different directions, X, Y, and Z. We don't have any planes in the Z axis, but that doesn't mean we can't do a circular pattern into the Z axis. All right, so we're going to go and we're going to select that red atom, and we're going to send it in a different direction than its partner on the other side. And sometimes you have to exit out and go back in, or sometimes you have to select the part instead of a feature. This is where it gets kind of confusing. Yeah, this is the one that just didn't like it too much. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Okay, so all right. So now I'm starting to run into other atoms within the molecule. Kind of swallowed up that grayish atom. So I'm not sure. This is a C pattern. Okay. We still haven't gone into the Z direction yet, so we need to send one in the Z direction somehow. Circular pattern. Not sure which one I want to do here. I have part 9 selected. If you don't want, that if you selected a part and you don't want that one selected, then you can definitely just click on the X and select a different part. Got a little crazy on that. They get a little close. You can go into the sketch on the top and adjust the diameter or the radius of your sketch. That'll make them fit a little bit nicer. Let's go into we need to, okay, that's in the Z direction, the Z axis. So I'd like to send another one that's off center into the Z direction, and just go crazy with the quantity and just have fun with it. So we're starting to look like a molecule now. So in a molecule, the atoms, they actually orbit the nucleus. And so obviously the further you go out from the nucleus, the slower the atoms are going to travel, because they get a greater distance to travel. So you got your different patterns, and we can definitely make some angled patterns. You can use a 3-point plane, or you can use an angled plane. There's all kinds of things you can do with this to send them in weird directions. So also the dialog box along the left, the parts list, you can right click on those and edit individual atoms and make them different colors to represent different elements on the periodic table. See, all that biology and chemistry is coming back to me. Alright, so I think I'm going to do just a few more circular patterns and then go in and start doing some individual coloring. Not sure which one got selected. And at this point, it's beyond trying to keep up with the names. Let's see what happened. There we go. That's impressive. I like that. All right, so this is definitely an alien molecule, not from this Earth. I think I'm going to do a couple more circular patterns, and yeah, now it's starting to get really crazy. So definitely we're onto something here. So once you get to the point where you say, okay, I got enough of atoms, it looks like a molecule, then you can go into right-clicking on the different parts list along the left and individually coloring in these different atoms. And if you look at an atom or a molecule, you'll see that if it's a different element, it's going to have a different color. I think that's pretty standard throughout all the curriculum in biology and chemistry. Different colors, iron, nickel, all those different elements are represented in different colors in a molecule. And so maybe this week, if all goes well, we can create some actual molecules, H2O, sodium, just different things, and actual molecules. And then maybe using the helix, we can do the DNA and actually put in the DNA strands to look like the stair-step ladder thing. You can actually do that and show that to your biology teacher, chemistry teacher. Share this with them and see if they would like to see if we can actually print something out like this. I mean, you can't print it as is. You'd have to print each atom individually. All right. Oh, so going back to the big atom, atom D, I went in and I adjusted the diameter by selecting the apex of the semicircle, and I just drew that back in. Instead of pulling the top and bottom backwards and forwards, I just click on the apex of the semicircle, and then I pushed it in to reduce the diameter of the actual sphere. All right, so now you can. Am I going to do one more pattern? I'm really going crazy with the patterns here. And you can select multiple parts, and do a circular pattern with multiple atoms, and really make this thing look crazy. And then you're going to want to go in and change the different elements. If this was if this had had an oxygen or a carbon atom, you'd want to go in and change those to the standard color. And I know there's got to be a website out there that shows you the different colors, so you can actually make up your own homemade molecule. I mean, that's how nuclear power was created. They just went in and looked at atoms and reconfigured them and created nuclear power. All right, so if it gets a little bit too crowded, you can turn some of the parts off by clicking on the eyeballs. Not sure which, at this point, I'm not sure which one I got selected. Okay, yeah, it gets kind of crazy. Oh, I just did one of the, that was atom A. So I took one of the spheres in the A pattern, and I just sent it in the other direction. And so you can pick different atoms, send them in different directions, and so they have their own orbital axis around the nucleus. The nucleus is the center of your molecule. All right, so all right, so I think I have one. Okay, yeah. So I got one of them selected somewhere, and I'm turning it green. I'm not sure. I think green, is going back on my memory. I think green might be helium. I'm not sure. A helium atom. Then you can change all of them, different colors. I changed it blue, I guess. I don't know. All right, so you do have to change the appearance. I'm not sure which one I have selected. It's better just to hover over. I totally lost where I was, which atom I was trying to change the color of. Oh, it's up there on the top. Okay. You can use a mixer if you want. I'm not 100% sure if I actually successfully selected that atom or not. Doesn't look like I did. Yeah, just go on your parts list on the left. We got a couple hundred parts at this point, and so you can see which one I have selected. Edit appearance. Let's see if that actually is going to work this time. I'm not. Something I'm doing wrong here. All right, so edit appearance. I do eventually succeed. I'm just stumbling around here a little bit in the dark. Come on, be cooperative. I got the green one, as you can see. So find one that's cooperative and right click, edit appearance, and it should turn. Still not cooperating. Well, you can edit the entire thing, or you can edit the selected face. You don't want to edit the sketch because editing the sketch goes all the way to the very start. You don't want to do that. So you can select it. You can edit the face selected. Not sure why I didn't at this point. Just go ahead and do that. Well, that worked. Not sure why the other one didn't turn. So I got one of them. I thought I selected two of them, but at least it's starting to cooperate. All right, so you all see it. It's cooperating, but it was not cooperating 5 minutes ago, so kind of weird. I don't know. All right, so we're starting to look like an actual molecule. We're learning that editing those appearances can be touchy or temperamental. Sometimes it wants to work, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so let's change a few more colors and then maybe a few more orbits. So, I mean, I'm going through the same thing. I mean, I'm selecting the parts on the left and editing the appearance, but for some darn reason, it wasn't working at the very beginning. Not sure why, unless I had something open that I forgot to close at the top there. Maybe it was anyway. All right, so that is my molecule, and or an alien molecule. So have fun with it. Make sure you create a separate molecule project. You know, you don't want to create this in your train project. You want to try to keep things separate. So if we do anything else that's along the biology chemistry, then you can put that into this folder as well. If we do DNA, which I think would be a cool idea if we did, you know, put that in here. So try to keep similar things together. So your train project, you can put a car project in there as well. They're similar subject material. So anyway, All right, so have fun with this, and um, I will be out Wednesday and Friday. I'm going to be having a surgery. I do have an issue with I have to get a stent in my neck, so uh, should be up and back on my feet by the 9th of November. Guys, we're getting pretty close to Thanksgiving break, and I definitely want to make sure that next week we start on our engineering notebooks. I know that's been delayed. Part of it's because we've been bringing people back and different things that have gone on in last week. Didn't want to do the engineering notebooks with the PSAT the same week. So the engineering notebook is a very useful tool in this classroom to organize your thoughts on paper, and it's a great way to collaborate with the teammate. You'll definitely want to work on your notebook together with someone. It's a great opportunity to get to know your classmates and learn how to work with people with different talents and skills and different temperaments and different levels of commitment, which is going to be the real world. When you get out of high school, you're going to have to deal with coworkers that have different levels of commitment and temperaments and personalities and stuff. So that's all part of gaining experience in the high school environment and taking that into the real world. So, all right. So see you guys next week, and have fun with this project.